Hi Ingrid, I'm so glad you said yes to this interview, and on behalf of the online committee we're thrilled you agreed to be a presenter at Reinventing Reconnecting. So I guess the first question I have for you is, what led you into wanting to research kinesiology?
Thanks, Molly. Yeah, look, I am excited to share what I learned over a 5-year period of research. What led me into it, I think, was from a conference with a couple of other kinesiologists and students. And we were discussing, I think it was one of the presenters had shared what they'd done during a master's degree. And I just thought, oh, wouldn't that be exciting to be part of exploring researching on what we do and what we love and what we've benefited from ourselves. So we started a working party, and I thought, look, I think there's a missing area on kinesiology research. So being professional was important, and a few of us wanted to be able to communicate to the healthcare professionals about what we do. So it seems a good way that they use a lot to share their understandings of different therapies and interventions. So yeah, I wanted to be part of that and contribute back because I know I've benefited a lot. And yeah, that started us off. I just I think also, like, just thinking about, I was teaching at the time and thinking about how to say to students, well, look, this is what, you can experience personally, but it will be nice to have a bit more of like the research to back that up, or, to give them confidence in learning the techniques and knowing that, there's effects of that. Yeah, so it sort of started me on the journey.
And 5 years later, you're still excited?
Yeah, 5 years later, I've learned a lot. I was very naive, which, of course, if you don't study something, you don't know much about it. So, yeah, I am still excited, and I've really been hard work, but I've loved learning more about what research is, how to understand it a little bit better, and hopefully my paper is going to be published at some point. That's another long road.
So you say you were naive. Give us an example of what you mean by that.
Mm. Well, when I would read a research paper, I didn't really know what I was reading. I didn't know that they had a specific research question they were answering, and I didn't really know why they chose a particular study design. And I didn't, as you were saying, I didn't really understand all those statistics
Yeah.
and what it actually meant, and the conclusion, whether the conclusion actually was substantiated by that
Mm.
study or exploration. But yeah, so I just felt like I just didn't really know much.
Ah, okay. Well, a question I've been asking everyone who's presenting, because it's a kind of feel good question, really. What got you into kinesiology? What was your aha moment, or who led you into kinesiology?
Yeah. Well, it was 30 years ago now, I was reflecting. And it was the end of a relationship that I just felt a little bit low. And I said to my sister at the time, oh, I think I need to see a natural therapist. And she suggested this person to go and see. And I had no idea that it was kinesiology or what it was. I just thought, oh, great. And then I remember that when I came out of there, I realized before, when I'd gone in, that I'd been seeing the world through a lens of black and white.
Hmm.
And it was very striking to me that when I walked out, I felt like I was seeing color again, which I think is very descriptive of sometimes how we feel after a kinesiology session. So I was quite committed then to learning touch for health, and that started my journey on that. Yeah.
Oh, that is a really beautiful description of the effect of kinesiology and how it feels magic when you don't know anything about it. And then, yeah, the passion is ignited. I just have to know about this. That's wonderful. And were you already an OT at that stage? You were already
Yeah,
working in health?
yeah, I've been working as an occupational therapist, I think, for about 5 years, you and I worked out.
Oh, fantastic. Um, have you got any great tips for new graduates or when I say new, graduates can be women, like you and I, where we've already done a whole lot of things and studied and we've gone back to study, or they could be really, this is their first thing they've ever studied, really, is kinesiology. So both audiences, I guess. Do you have any great tips you'd like to share?
Yeah, I thought about this question and I thought the thing that makes a difference with me and my clients is if I really connect in with them as a person and their story. So just by listening and just really paying attention to what it is that they're saying and that their issue that they want to explore, it makes such a big difference. I'm engaged. I'm tuning into what they're actually saying and wishing for. So yeah,
Mm.
that's my main tip.
That's a tip for life, isn't it? Listening. And I remember when I did my instructor training with Tony Lilly, active listening. And as a teacher, that's important, but it's a skill as well, active
Mm.
listening and being able to, yeah, I really tune into people's language because
Oh
that's
yeah.
their imagery for what's happening to them. And yeah, yeah, beautiful. That's a great tip. Just listening and but also what you're saying is something that natural therapists love to do, I think, which is be present, really present. And
Mm.
we usually allow more time for our clients. So it's not quite we give that space and time to be present.
Mm. Yeah.
Um, I think that's all my questions really. So you'll be sharing with us how to actually understand research. So is there any one thing about reading a research paper or even searching on the net,
Mm.
maybe a tip or something to watch out for? Because it can be overwhelming if you're looking things up on the net.
Yeah, it can be. Well, I think one of the things to think about is what is the study design that this person is presenting? Because some people gather lots of studies together, like a review, a systematic review of lots of people's papers. So then you've got like a broad sample from which the evidence you can think, oh, actually that's been tested through like numerous people studies. So that's perhaps more able to be generalized. Whereas if you're just reading one study that has, say 20 participants, it's really just saying something about the 20 participants. And that's a good first step, but it may not be as fulsome evidence as something greater. So I think just understanding the sample size is a really good tip just to acknowledge for yourself, because at the end of the day, you're the one that has to make up your mind about how that evidence informs your work.
Okay, well, thank you. That was wonderful. Well, Ingrid, thank you for meeting me and look forward to seeing you at Reinventing Reconnecting.
Yeah, it'll be great. I'm so glad you guys have created an online conference. I think it's a fabulous idea, and yeah, hoping that it goes really well.
Yeah, yeah, I think with the way the world's been and the strange things that are happening, we were just missing out on talking to each other and
Mm,
hearing
mm.
new ideas. And I consider it a COVID silver lining now that suddenly we can come together virtually. And that means we've actually got international speakers, and like you're in Melbourne, I'm in Brisbane, people from Perth, Broome, Hong Kong can join in. That's just so
Yeah, it's
wonderful, isn't
amazing.
it?
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
And when you think Australia's so far away, it's a really nice thing for once to not feel so far away. Like it's a major flight, really, to get anywhere from Australia, except New Zealand and Bali. So yeah. Oh, I'm really glad you're looking forward to it, because we are too.
Yeah, yeah.